What's up guys, Rob Optimal Bodies. Now this one's for people that want to build muscle and are stuck in a plateau and don't know which way to turn. Now the general consensus that I see from bodybuilding, like old school mentality, is to train a body part once a week. So like Monday, International Chest Day, it's got to be chest. So Monday's chest, Tuesday might be back, Wednesday might be a rest, Thursday might be legs, Friday might be shoulders, Saturday arms, Sunday rest, that sort of thing. And I'm guessing a lot of you are familiar with that type of training, or they might do push-pull legs, so they do like back and bicep on one day, chest, shoulder, tricep on another day, legs on another day. Those sort of generic programs. So if you've been doing those type of programs and you feel like you're struggling and you've hit a wall, like your strength's not going up, you don't feel like you're building muscle, then I've got a little new program for you to try, and I'll tell you the reasons why as well. And I'm going to give you these tips to really shock your system and your muscles into growing. So in the research, it's looking like overall total weekly volume, so the amount of sets, reps, and weight combined, so basically the work you do in the gym, is the number one factor that determines your muscle growth. So how do we implement this into your program? So if you're only doing chest once a week, it's recovered in 2 or 3 days. Obviously, it depends how much volume you do in that one session, but usually 2 or 3 days later, your chest is ready to hit again, but you're waiting 7 days. So added up over the years, that can be very detrimental. And it's exactly the same principle with whatever body part, legs, shoulders, arms, back, whatever it may be. So how do we get around this? We're going to focus on frequency. We're going to increase the frequency that you're hitting a body part. And the principle of this is, say like a generic chest exercise or session, you do about 5 or 6 exercises for your chest. You might do flat bench, incline bench, some flies, some press ups, some cable crossovers, that sort of thing. It's shown in the research that after sort of like 3 or 4 plus sets, all those other additional sets are classed as junk volume. So what they mean by that is that they're not really contributing to muscle growth anymore. You've sort of sent the signal to your muscle, to your chest muscles, to grow with those 2 or 3, 4 sets. Anything additional can just be more to recover from, but not necessarily more growth. So what we want to do is we want to stimulate the chest, not absolutely annihilate it. And this might be strange for some people because you're doing less work in a session. It feels like you're not doing enough and you might not be as sore. But remember, the goal is not to get sore. The goal is to get bigger, stronger muscles. So we get around this by doing less exercises per session, but we do them more frequently. So we might do, say we do 4 exercises for our chest, do something else the next day. The day after, we hit chest again when it's fresh, recovered, and ready to go again. Through trial and error, I think the best way of structuring this is an upper-lower rest split. So we do upper body one day, the next day we do lower body, the next day we have a rest. Lower body can be quite nervous system taxing on the system, quite energetically draining, and then it's upper-lower rest again. So you do upper body on Monday, Tuesday's lower, rest, Wednesday, and then Thursday you're hitting your upper body again. So in that upper body session, we're actually combining chest, shoulders, back, tricep, and bicep. And then in the lower body session, self-explanatory, but it's quads, hamstrings, glutes. You can put some ab work in there, calves, that sort of thing. But the main sort of caveat and minutiae nuance to this is that we're not doing 6 or 7 exercises for every muscle group. We're not doing all as chest, all as back, all as shoulders. All that'd take forever and it'd be overtraining. So we're just going to give them a little stimulation, a little tickle. So we might do a couple of sets on chest, a couple of sets on shoulders, a couple of sets on back, a couple of sets on bicep, and a couple on tricep, knowing you're going to be hitting that muscle again in 3 days. So you've got to factor in the volume. So you've got to do less in one session, but we're doing it more frequently. So we're not getting all that junk volume. So we're still stimulating the muscle, but we're not having to wait a week for it to recover when we could have been hitting it more. So basically, if you look at like a year's period, instead of hitting your chest 52 times for that year, if you only hit it once a week, even if you hit it twice a week, that's 104 times. So you're already doubling it, but we're going to be hitting it every 3 days. So 1 week, you'll be training 4 days a week. The next week, it'll work out 5 days, 4, 5, so on and so forth, because there's only 7 days in a week. But that is a generic setup that I do for someone who's feels like they're just lagging everywhere. They don't have like really weak or strong body parts, like no legs but massive upper body and vice versa. You're getting everything. You're getting equal stimulation of upper body, lower body. And then you could do that for 6 months to a year, and then you can tweak it to think, actually, like, yeah, everything's really come on, but my arms are still a little bit small. You could throw in an arm day on the rest day, or there's loads of different ways of doing it. But the main message from this is that we're going to do higher frequency, less exercises on a specific muscle group in one session, but you're hitting it again in 3 days. So I hope this helps. Any questions? Because obviously there's so many different programs that people can do. It's very confusing. But if you want to give this one a try and want something more specific, you want me to send something to your email, something generic to follow, drop me a message. Please like, share, comment, tag your mates, whatever it may be. Robert Optimal Bodies signing out. Cheers, guys.